Hey, it's Hunt. You found Hunt on Saints. We're talking black and gold football. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share your comments below, and hit that subscription button so you can get all of our content. Enjoy.
Everyone wants to start fast. There's no doubt about that, myself included. I want to start fast, come out the gates hot. Everybody's preaching that. Everybody wants to do that. The fact is that this week, half the teams are going to win, half the teams are going to lose. Does that mean the season's over? Absolutely not. I've had a coach fired, mid-season, and we still made the playoffs. That was right after September. They told us that it had never been done before. Well, we were that team that went and made the playoffs. We're the only ones to do it. And so I think I've been through too much to say that if this happens or that happens, it's over or it's great. I'm going to show up and give my best every day. And I know this team will too. And hopefully we start fast, but you want to finish even better.
That's Saints' new quarterback, Derek Carr, talking about John Gruden being fired and the Raiders going on to make the playoffs. I'll be candid. And look, it's all on tapes. You can go back and listen to it. But when the Saints signed Derek Carr, I said, okay, spend $100 million on a quarterback. I think he's league average quarterback. I just think you've made yourself a mediocre team and you've protected yourself from the bottom falling out. But are you any closer to winning a Super Bowl? And I had big complaints about that. And I still don't consider the Saints a Super Bowl favorite by any stretch. And I realized that we are in, as I talk about all the time, this point of the calendar with NFL teams, just like LSU fans were 7 days ago, where you feel as good as you're going to feel about your team because nothing has happened poorly. Nobody's really gotten hurt. We haven't lost a game. Everything is positive at this point in Saints world like it was in LSU world 7 days ago. And that can change pretty quickly. But as I look at the Saints' assembled pieces, and I look at their division, and I look at their schedule, and then I take it a step further, and I just look at the NFC as a whole. If you're a Saints fan, you ought to be fired up today. You really should. The Saints have a chance to have a really good season. You look back at the history of this franchise, and what percentage of seasons would you consider really good seasons? Like 6 of them? 6? Maybe 10? But not that many. It's a countable amount. And I feel like the Saints can have a really good season this year. I think it's absolutely possible for the Saints to win 12 games. I think they can go 12-5. I don't think that's beyond the scope of possibility at all. I think you start getting to 13 or 14 wins, and I'm going to have to pump those brakes. But 12 is going to get you very much into the playoffs. 12 is going to get you, you're going to win the division at 12 games, which means you're going to get a home playoff game. And you're likely to win a home playoff game, certainly have a really good chance to win it. And then all of a sudden, where are we? We're deep into January. That's absolutely attainable. And that is coming from a guy who's, one, not a homer sunshine pumping, because my blood pressure doesn't change at all when the Saints are in the fourth quarter and I'm in the dome. I'm just bummed out they're not selling beer anymore because it's the fourth quarter. But I'm just looking at the team. I've got concerns, okay? The interior of the offense, really the entire offensive line, could be shoddy and is an injury or two away from really being in flux. And at that point, you step back and go, okay, this is not very good. This could be a big issue. But nobody's hurt right now, so we're not there. And I've got some questions about the defensive front. But we're going to get some answers on the defensive front Sunday. And if you can come out against a physical group with a physical back who figures to get 23 carries in this game, and you can stand up to them and stand up to Derrick Henry, I'll feel better Monday than I do today. Derek Carr is going to be fine. He's going to get you in the right play. He's going to make the right decision. He'll usually make a pretty good throw. Is he Breeze? No. Is he Dalton? No. And I think the weapons that the Saints have are going to create a successful offense. I'd like to have Kamara in this game, sure. I'd like to have Kendre Miller in this game, frankly. But it's probably going to be a heavy dose of Jamal Williams, and that's fine. You'll get to Kamara in 3 games, and he'll be pretty fresh after a month. But I like where the Saints roster sits. I think the secondary's got a chance to be well above average. I think the linebackers are above average if everybody stays healthy. I think you've got a chance to be good on the defensive front. Don't have to worry. I just mentioned Marcus Davenport going on the injured report for the Vikings 2 days before the first game. Don't have to deal with that. And I think the offense with that leadership is going to be pretty good. And we've made a big deal out of the quarterbacks the Saints are playing. Goodness gracious, they're awful. It's as bad a crop as you could pick to play against. I mean, is anybody scared of Ryan Tannehill on Sunday? Anybody? Feel free to raise your hand. I'm all eyes and ears. Is anybody scared of Bryce Young next week? Jordan Love, the Baker boy, Baker Mayfield, Mac Jones, C.J. Stroud, Trevor Lawrence in the Dome, could be tough. Anthony Richardson, he wasn't good in college. Justin Fields, Cousins. I mean, you get the picture. Y'all know this by now. The point of this segment, I'll give my pick for Sunday's game at the end of the show. I'll do that with my LSU pick as well. The point of this is for someone on this station who does not have an emotional investment in the Saints winning, which T-Bob certainly does, and Charlie and Jimmy certainly do, and Matt certainly does, and that's great. I got as emotional a tie as anybody to what goes on Saturdays around here, and we just talk about it. It's fine. I just feel like I'm in a little bit of a different position and have a little different perspective from those guys. And I'm telling you, I think this looks pretty good. Now, last year it crumbled. And it started with Jameis, and then it went into the injuries, and it just was not recoverable. And I don't have all the confidence in the world in Dennis Allen. I don't, which is probably fair. But the Saints roster, combined with the division, combined with the schedule, combined with the conference, tells me that by the time Thanksgiving and Christmas roll around, we should be talking about really, really important games that the Saints are playing. And at that time, you're playing Bryce Young and Daniel Jones. And if Matt Stafford's still upright on December 21st, it's a bad Rams team anyway. And Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask and Desmond Ridder. Those are the last quarterbacks you play when you're supposed to have all the chips on the line. So I say all that before Derek Carr ever takes a snap for the Saints to sit here and tell you that I think that the Saints front office did the right thing. They upgraded themselves at quarterback. I mean, he's making less than half of what Burrow's going to make. You did not break the bank for a quarterback. You upgraded at quarterback and left yourself some flexibility on the rest of the roster. And oh, by the way, as we sit here, the Saints still have $13 million under the cap or thereabouts. I think the Saints are in good shape. And if you're driving around town as a Saints fan who's also an LSU fan who's listening to this show, if you want to get really excited for the LSU game on Saturday night, God bless you. That's awesome. I'm excited to go in there and watch. As far as the competitiveness of the game, there's not much there. But you should be very excited to watch the Saints play on Sunday against the Tennessee Titans, because this team has a chance to have one of the better seasons in what is admittedly a putrid history of the Saints. Hey, it's Hunt. Thanks for watching Hunt on Saints. Before you leave, help us out a little bit. Hit that like button, leave your comments in the section below, and hit that subscribe button so you get all our content right here from Hunt on Saints. We'll see you next time.